Well, here we are. I've got my streaming set up just a little bit fancier than what I've had before. So you will see a nice little slide animation, hopefully. Maybe. There it goes. Just making sure that I have everything working. I will also be working in a different program called Atom, which is what I use for data packs today. And I'm going to just see how that looks real quick. If I swap to Atom, then I swap back to my Minecraft screen capture. I should see it in just a couple seconds. Okay, I think we're safe. I think we're all good to go. You will see that I've got some links in the description. You can join the Brickmasons if you want to join my build team. And also I have a link for our Discord, so if you want to join the Brickmasons Discord just to chat or hang out with us for a little bit, then feel free to join the Brickmasons Discord. So now that that's out of the way, let me pause my playback to save a little bit of bandwidth. You will see that I've got this screen thing going. It's not really what we're going to be working on today, or maybe it will be. We'll see. I just want to show it off because I think it's pretty cool. So here are different cameras that we're making a asymmetric puzzle / action game. And so one person's going to be a hacker and the other person is going to be more of a person that does everything. So let's run a function. I think it's right VPN reset. So these are just placeholder textures. We will make everything look fancier later. Like this chair is completely untextured. But this is a VPN. So how this works, or will work hopefully, this will probably change, but these red dots will jump between each of these, and if it reaches your blue dot, then it's bad. But if it doesn't, then we're good to go. And you can reset the red line if we do that, and you see that at the top there, vpn.tracer, then it will be reset if I shoot these 4 targets. So that's what the stun thing does. And then there's a jump, which makes the VPN jump, but you also jump. And then this is a distract, which I haven't made yet. So, and then over here on this side, there is cameras. So these are going to be hacking minigames when it's in this mode, which this is like the placeholder texture. This doesn't do anything yet. But if we press this button, this means the camera is hacked. So if we press that, then that's what the camera looks like when it's hacked. Jevin says Jevin. I mean, I can't argue with that. But these buttons will do stuff later. And then if the camera's jammed, then the hacker can't connect to it. But all of that stuff will make more sense later when you play the map. I've been mostly in charge of working on the hacker side, and Jevin has been working on the breacher side more so for the commands. And some models and textures have been worked on by Jay, who is part of the team as well. So I'm going to swap over. What we're actually going to be working on is a music system. So if we want to play music in the map, we can just do a single function. So something like music play and then track 1. And then that'll do all of the work for us. Like it'll stop the sound, it'll create a timer. So maybe if you want it to automatically loop, we can have that set up in the music system. And what's cool about this system that I'm hoping to make today is that we can use it for whatever we want, for other maps. So it'll be a very versatile system. So let me compress the functions I'm working on now. And we'll swap to Atom. Okay, so here we are in Atom. Let me know if this is a little too small. I do know that the text is small. Maybe I can change the view a little bit. Increase font size. Okay, doesn't change the sidebar, but that's okay. So I'm going to create a folder just called music because that's what it's for. And in that folder, we want a functions folder. And really, let's do a play folder too, so we can have different tracks. And so what I'm going to do is just get the basics, like just get the system working with the Minecraft sounds. So that would be the, oh, gotta swap scenes. There we go. The play sounds. So if we do music dot, and I like the sound. Oh, these are actually different tracks. It used to be just music.nether. I didn't realize that. I think it's just music, yeah, music.underwater is all one. So we'll have to find the length of these tracks, which I will open up a tab. You can't see this, and I don't really want you to see my Google Chrome tab. But if I open up a Gamepedia, that'll probably have the information I'm looking for. Okay. So yeah, let's do underwater because it's just one play sound. So let's swap back to Atom and create a file called underwater.mc function. So this is what, when you run this command, it'll automatically do what, it'll play the underwater tracks. I say tracks because the way Minecraft sound works is it collects several of the sound files, like all under one name, so it'll randomize between them, which is good for, you know, only having to call one soundtrack. But if you want to make a specific soundtrack play, then it's a little bit sloppy. So let me see if I can find the length of these tracks. Might have to maximize this tab. Yes. Okay. It's not showing the length of the track, which is kind of annoying. Hopefully you can hear that. Okay, so that, I mean, that's just what one of the tracks was. Let's see. Nothing, okay. So I'm just gonna assume that the tracks are, and somebody, if you find the information, let me know, because I didn't prepare this because I thought it'd be easier to find, but rough length of the longest underwater track. So like if it's one's 2 minutes, one's 3 minutes, one's 1 minute, then I want 3 minutes to be this value. Normally you just know the length of the track that you are making, because this will be built in for, this will work with custom music events. So I think we want a scoreboard objective to be created. So let's jump over to main load, which is what I load everything in. Actually, I'm going to create a load in the music so that everything is self-contained. I don't want it in play. Load.mc function, and I might as well duplicate that and create one that's called tick. So these will be called either by Minecraft, which is the automatic ticking one, or this will be by the other data packs. Loads in music. That's good enough description. So in load, we want a function. No, that's not at all what we want. We want a scoreboard. Objectives, add music timer. Yeah. Music.timer. And we want that to be a dummy. We could make this just a normal, there's a way to make things automatically tick up, but I want to have more control over that. I don't want it to always tick up. I only want it to tick up when you have music. And then tick, this is always ran by the server, so I'm going to do execute as at a, and this is only if their scores of music is greater than or equal to 1. So it's music.timer, not just music. Whoops. And that'll run something later. We want a stop music system and also a loop system. And so we can set that a tag with the play, I think, would be a good idea. So let's say underwater is a looping. So we want the player that runs this command to have the loop tag. So the system will know to play this sound again. So what's hard about that is now we have to create a dictionary system so that we know which one to loop in case we do. So if we go back to load, we want a scoreboard objective called music.track, probably. And this will keep track of which music that they're on. Hopefully. And rather than this counting up, this will actually count down. And once it reaches 0, it'll run a specific event. Hopefully. So, okay. Let's create a scoreboard, objectives, add, or probably a set would be best. Set add as music.timer, and this is in ticks because everything works in ticks. What did I say, 2 minutes before? 2 minutes is probably good enough. So 1200 is 1 minute because that's 60 times 20, 60 seconds times 20 ticks per second. So I think 2400 hopefully sufficient. We'll see later. And so do we want this to be stop sound add s? Do we want to use the music? Probably, right? So we're going to assume that the music is the one that we create. So now we play the fun part is playing the music. So this would be music.underwater. And this is in music tab, and it's only the player playing it. I think it should be max volume all the time. So if you don't know, if you're not familiar with how play sound works, it does play sound and then the name of the sound. So we're just using music.underwater. Then this is the profile of the sound. So it goes under your sounds tab. So in game, you've got the different sound tabs. This is what it ties to, or this will tie it to the certain sound tabs. And then this is the player. Where it's played from, usually I just do where the player is. And then max volume, pitch, min volume. So if it's 1 min and 1 max, it can only be 1 always. So you don't have to worry about walking too far away from it. Hopefully. That used to not work sometimes, but I think this will work. We'll see when we test it. And then I think that'll work. So now if we go back to the load, no. Probably tick. So if the player has music.timer score, actually, let's change this real quick. So if it is 1 or more, then let's run a function instead. So we don't keep using target selectors. Functions, player.mc function. So this is what ticks. So if they have a score of music greater than 1, it'll tick. So I'll just delete that second line. That should be all that we need to do to run this command. So we want a way to count down. So this will count down from the music.timer scoreboard. Matches 0. So if the music.timer score is exactly 0, and it can't run again because this whole function's only ran if it's greater than 1 or greater than or equal to 1. So once it gets set to 0, this function won't run again. That should be the way it works. And if the player has tag of loop, then what we can do is run a function called music dict, which is what I use. It's a shorthand for dictionary, because typing out dictionary is a little bit boring. So I'll create another new file. And so this is going to map the track ID to the track. And this is only important if a song loops, because you'll manually run the function if it doesn't loop. So if we go back to underwater, we also want to set a track ID. If I can spell players. Music.track, and let's just set it to 0 because I think that's a very good starting point. Let's go ahead and remove that and put it down here. Eventually we could make a system where we run or you could modify this whole thing so that it shows what track is playing, which would be really neat if it's like a very mild puzzle game and you just want to see the name of the track if you like the music. But we're not going to build that in just yet. Maybe later. So this is running music dict if the player has tag of loop and they also have a music timer score of 0. So dict will now compare their track ID, or music track. So this scoreboard, which, let's go over here. We do this, and then we do usually I like using matches because that just is easier to read. You don't have to use another entity. And so now we can run music play underwater. And I'm going to create one more called stop, which I think we should copy the stop sound and probably create a reset for both of these scores. So let's create that real quick. New file, stop.mc function. And so what we can do is copy basically this whole command and remove the parts that we don't like. So we want it to stop sound music, and then we don't want it to play sound, obviously. We want a reset on both of these so that they don't interfere later. And then we can also remove the loop tag. So now if we go back to underwater, we can keep all of these, and instead of this, we can do function music stop. So that'll make sure every time you start a track, you want to make sure that there's no other track playing, and you want to completely exit out of that track before it plays. So now the tick, let's have the tick ran. I'll just run it in a command block. I think we're ready to test it. So if we swap back to Minecraft, and I'll grab a repeating command block. First of all, we do reload, of course. We do function music tick. This should be always active. So executed one command. So it's a very lightweight resource pack if nobody has a music, or data pack, I mean. Nobody has music score. So now if we do a function music load, should be good to go. So now if we do a function music, looks like I don't have, looks like the play didn't work. So I'm gonna pop open this. Play underwater didn't work, and music stop didn't work. So let's see why underwater didn't work, because let's swap back to Atom. Line 5. Is that not a valid command? Is the scoreboard objective too long? Oh, it's objectives, not players. That's embarrassing. Okay, probably similar thing in stop. Yeah, okay. I think we'll be fixed. Swap back here. So now if we do music, yeah, we have the play underwater. Before I do that, let's turn up my, first of all, my sound a little bit, and turn up my music a bunch. Oh, Brandon Long has joined us. He says poggers. Yeah, we're just about poggers, because we are almost done with this music system. Okay, do we hear music? I hear something. Oh, yep, there's coming in. So if I do a scoreboard objective set display sidebar, just sidebar, a music.timer, we can see the timer counting down. And our track ID should just be 0. Yep. It's a very nice, nice music. Now we'll just watch this and see if it resets after 2 minutes. We're already a minute in, and it looks like not much of the song is played. So we probably have to extend this one. And does that freeze up the world? So this is a problem in single player. On servers, it's not a problem. Certain actions pause the world and the music still plays. So we will see a little bit of desync there in certain games. but that's more of a game design thing that you have to work around. So you have to avoid things that are, let's turn this down just a little bit. There we go. Things that pause the game. But hopefully, just a little bit, we hear a reset. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Refreshing. 2, 1. Okay, heard it stop there, definitely. And it might have picked the same track, ironically. No, I think it's a different one, isn't it? I don't know until the part later. Nope, it's the same song. Okay. And also, if we run the function again, yeah, it resets everything and plays the song again. So I'm going to swap back to Adam, and let's make another track just to, you know, make sure everything works. And which one? I think it's music.nether. Probably nether waste is good. So I'll copy that. So let's duplicate this. Nether wastes. And just paste that in. Oop, don't need the full play sound. Also, I don't like you having the Minecraft. Waste of space. So this basically functions exactly the same way. And we could also have this not have the loop tag. So maybe we don't want the nether one to tag or to loop. And what's really cool is you can actually set the music track. This is more not like the same track. This is actually a yeah, that's better. Let's increase the font size a couple times. This is more of a next track, not current track. So if you want 0 to play after 1 plays, you can actually chain them together. It won't be dynamic, it'll always be static, but it's at least an option. So I'm going to do a quick reload. Music should continue, hopefully. Yep. If we do a function music play, yep, we've got nether waste now. And I shouldn't have the loop tag. Yep, just have hacker, which is for something else. So let's see if we can hear the music. Yep, I hear it. It might be light for you because I've turned it down quite a bit, and I'm also talking. So yeah, this system's very lightweight, and what's cool is if you have a very simple looping track, you can do that with this. And you can, like, maybe I want to, I want the music to continue playing this one, but I want to loop it to a different track. Then I can actually just change the track ID to play a different, and then also maybe add the loop tag. This one, or the track that's playing now, doesn't have the loop. So if we see this run to the end, it should just stop at 0. If we have enough patience for it. About 30 seconds left. Oh, and don't look in there. So we've been live for half an hour. Not bad. Got a whole system worked out, basically. Now, does it stop? Okay, it doesn't stop. Might have to change that. Let's, oh, whoops. I was in game for a little bit there. I forgot to swap scenes. My bad. Let's change swap so that it doesn't reset timer because, oh wait, it doesn't reset track because I think track is important. And let's actually, in the player function, actually in dictionary. So rather than running it in every single music, we can run stop in the dictionary. So if we go to dictionary, actually we can't, can we? Where was I? Player. Yeah, because the player may or may not have tag loop, and we always want the music to end after the time runs out. So we'll just have a another one of these, but it will be whether or not, it doesn't matter if the player has tag loop. It's a little bit inefficient. There's probably a much better way of doing this, like from dictionary, or from stop you run dictionary, but I don't really want that to happen. And we forgot to run here as well. So if we do a reload, if I swap back to Minecraft, if I do a scored, yep, okay. So that completely, it got rid of the score and everything. So I think that's a great way to clean it up when there's no one with music. Because ideally, in a perfect world, you don't have any scores that you don't need. So like having a score of 0 takes up just as much space in memory as having a score of like 2 million. So it's better to have it completely reset where it doesn't store it at all because it's not there, than to have a score of 0. So that's good. I'm going to add a bunch of time to these. So I'm going to make them, what's 5 minutes? 6,000 ticks. I'm going to make them link to each other. So one goes to the other after the track. And then in the dictionary, let me swap back to Adam for a second. In the dictionary, let's look at this. So this would be nether wastes, which I think will be good. So if I do that, and if I run one, let's go here. So that plays 6, or plays a nether waste one. Yep. And then, oh. Huh. Did that not reset me? Okay. So I'm getting tag loop. The things are working, looks like. So yeah, it stops music, resets the timer. Oh, that's my problem. I'm resetting the timer and then I'm trying to check for a score of 0, but there is no score. So what we can do, instead of checking for a score of 0, we can go to player, and we can actually do an unless. That is a unlesses are very useful for checking if a score can be reset or also a certain value. So if we do, and this will also work if the player has tag loop, so I have to add another one. And as you hear, we're getting creative music, so I better work fast. Then gotta remove this tag of loop. The problem with having just this here is it'll look for the score of the player running the command. If the music is 1 or more, or if the player, like if this selector doesn't work, either of those, then it'll run the whole music dictionary. But we want it to run only if the player has a tag of loop. Oh, hey Prime. We're just working on some music for the game. Wow, this creative music is very loud. So if I do a reload and run the... And then let's set it to 5 now. Nope, it didn't reset. I think I set up my execute wrong. Nope, that's right. Another thing that we can do, now that I'm thinking of it, is rather than using this tag of loop as you see here, we could actually use the track score. So if the player has a score on track, then it'll check, which could be just as powerful. I'm thinking. These could both be... I like the tag of loop though. Although that is kind of ambiguous, so we probably want to change it to music.loop. If we go back there. You know, somewhere else too, I think. Yeah, here. Oh, this is a different load function entirely. So this isn't even running at the player. That's funny. There. That's, I mean, this is very, oops, sorry. Very important, this part right here. If you don't have dual channel audio. But because music is dual channel in Minecraft, we don't have to worry about it here. So music.loop. For some reason this didn't run. Did I do track? No, I did timer. Let's go back to Minecraft and just see if anything is actually broken. Maybe I didn't reload. That's always a problem. So if I set my Nether Waste music, if I play that, and then I also set my music timer to 50, this should go back up, but it's not. I don't know why it defaults to... Oh, it's because my mouse is there. That's super annoying. So I'm on track 0. That worked. Yeah, it's not calling the function, even though it should. Oh, I know why. Music stop is removing the tag, so it's not finding me. That makes sense. And I feel stupid for doing that. So how do we do this? I think I should just keep the tag. Maybe I need another function for swapping Well, that won't work either. Oh, let's look at Atom. I think what we can do is in the nether, nope, not those. In here. Maybe we could only run stop if they don't have a next tracked score. No, I don't like how the flexibility is removed with some of these options. Like I want it to be very simple when we use it in other areas. For the music, I'm just using vanilla music right now. Prime. Just because I want to get a system that works for playing. This is basically a jukebox is what I'm building, a data pack jukebox that can automatically play different tracks that I want to play. Any applications? I don't think I've gotten any applications. I can check real quick. It usually means you just apply it, doesn't it? Nope, I don't see any new applications. Unless you mean oh, as in apps. Like in uses for this jukebox system, or do you mean applications to the team? Because those are different things. Very different answers too. So I think what we should do here is the timer is 0, and then I didn't make this music. It's vanilla music. Oop, basically copy this whole line. Music dot track matches, and it'd be anything above 0. I mean, I know a handful of good applications, like things that you can use to make music if you want to know some. There's one that's like a whole it's all online, which is kind of cool. But I'm not good at making music, so it's something that I have not worked well with. I've played around with it, but I'm not good at it. This should be an unless, and the other one should be an if. And I think we can just remove this loop tag because I don't think it's and this would be also an if. So if there is no music track, then it'll just run a full stop. If there is a music track, which means there's a next song to be played, it'll just run a music dictionary, which the music dictionary I'm going to go ahead and load in it the same couple of things in stop that we need. So obviously the stop sound. And I think we don't need these tags anymore, so I'm going to remove them. That'll make it simpler. So go back to stop. We want to stop sound it and reset the music timer. And we don't really need this tag removal anymore. So just grab those. Then run dictionary. So these will, like, if it loops to a different song, then it'll just never stop until you manually run it, which I think is fine. Or you can run a reset, like you Square Players, like a reset music track, and then it won't be detected at the end of the time this track is done, I think. So now if we go back to Minecraft and reload, let's see how this works, if it does, because it seems like we're having some small brain issues. Okay. So music timer. Yep, that definitely worked. And then if I just set it kind of low, it swapped. Okay, so now let's see what the track is. It's still 0. It shouldn't be 0. It should be 1. Because the dictionary should toggle between the two of them, is the way I've just set it up. So the nether waste goes to the underwater one, and the underwater one goes back to the... Oh, I see the problem. This is kind of an issue. Because right now it's playing a nether music and a aqua music. So, we go back to Atom. I know exactly what's going on. So if we go back to dictionary, let's run through it. So it stops everything, does everything that's supposed to do. And then it runs 0 if it's at 0, which sets the track to 1, so it also runs 1. So we need a little bit of a buffer zone, or a tag that's removed. So I'm just going to add a tag, because I think that's the easiest. Music.temp would be a good one. And then we remove it when we play these. Okay. There's too much music. So this one is running the 0. If I set it back, it should run the 1 now, hopefully. It didn't. If I set it to just a little bit of a short time, it should toggle these, and I'm not sure at all why. It doesn't make any sense. So we add music.temp. Oh, I'm kind of stupid. I didn't check for it. Okay, now it'll work. What's good as a tag if you don't even use it? Okay, so now let's go back to Minecraft. This should become 1. Yes. Okay, cool. So now we can toggle back and forth between several tracks. We can have them loop. So here, I'll demonstrate how it's supposed to work. So let's say bricks is one track, yellow glaze, terracotta, and white glaze are two other tracks. So what's cool is the brick, when you play the brick one, you can say, hey, play the yellow one next. Okay, goes to the yellow. The yellow one says, play the white one next, and it goes other. So the reason, and then we can have the yellow or the white one loop back to the brick, so it creates a full circle. Or maybe you have an intro sequence, so like a song just begins, and then there's an upbeat part, and then a downbeat part, or whatever. I don't know. So you can have the intro, and then go back and forth between these two. So you can have the yellow one point to the white one, and the white one point back to the yellow. But you can have the brick one as an entry point. So basically, with each play sound, you can have a way to point to the next track. And you can also overwrite it very easily. So like, oh, my next track is 1. Well, I don't really want it to be 1. I want it to be 0. So we can just do a, scoreboard objectives. So now it'll play the nether one again, or the water one again, because water is 0. Cool. I'm hoping, I think that's it. I think that's what we needed. So this should be a very flexible system. And assuming you set the, if I go back to the timer on the sidebar, if you set the timer to be the exact length of the song, it'll work great. And also if it's in server mode, so you notice I open this up, this pauses, but if I open to LAN, that's a pro strat there. Yeah, stop sound is good for. Oh, you're gonna teach someone how to teach someone how to play Skyblock soon. Well, Skyblock is a fun game mode if done right. So have fun with that. I like Skyblock. I'm kind of a sucker for those grindy things. So I think we're good. I think I'm gonna stop here for this stream because I didn't want too long of a stream. I just wanted to do something fun, and I like the outcome of it. Very simple music system. I might release this as a standalone data pack that you can use. Just drop it in your maps and then create the dictionary file, and then it'd be oh man, it would be useful. Prime says sub to LegoBro or die. Now I can neither confirm nor deny that what he's saying is true, but I can say it's a good thing to subscribe because I'm at 179 and I've been at like 100 for like 2 years now, above 100. My channel is growing painfully slow. I'm not saying I deserve a lot of subs because I upload very slowly. But if you like watching stuff, I'd appreciate it. Anyways, let's swap to my AFK break sing. Oh yeah. I'm proud of myself for figuring out how OBS works. Prime says my sub count is close to 60. That's not a bad place to start though. How long have you been doing YouTube, Prime? Because I've been doing it since 2014. Over 6 years, almost 7. I guess it was the end of 2014. So about pretty much 6 years. I've grown. What is that per year? It's like 10, 20 subs. Not very good. But I'm hoping to work harder on YouTube. But if you liked this stream, let's swap back to the Minecraft so I can gesture with my camera. So he started 2014 too. That's funny. But yeah, looks like this system works great. I'm happy. Just restarted. We missed it, but that's okay. Let's set display the music track. Yep. So I'm hoping to work more and more on this map. It's a big full team project, and I think everybody, it's a very impressive scope that we're going for. Hopefully we can get it done in a reasonable amount of time, but it's a very good map. It will be, I should say. But anyways, thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day. See you guys. I'm still here.